Hi there, and welcome to the Actualized Self, where in each episode we talk with high performers and entrepreneurs working to build a better tomorrow to learn the habits, routines, and hacks that they use to accomplish all that they do so that you can apply them to your own life. Now, today's a unique episode. It's essentially just a promotional piece for my course, 15 Days for a Better You. Now, the last few weeks, I've been going through early user feedback and testing a lot of the new content with mentors and friends and some new users to really find where can we make this course better and how can we sort of shape it around the needs of the users, specifically those who are struggling or feeling that they're in a little bit of a rut, to help them sort of get out of whatever fog they're in and really sort of get to that sort of next level of not just crafting a vision, but actually starting to work towards it. And I'm super proud with what we have. The feedback on the new version of the course is really good. And people are really liking the additional structure, the templates that we have, some of which are going to be open source so that you can sort of test them and look at them. And the accountability sort of aspects of the course itself, which we'll talk about in greater detail. You can actually look at the course itself in the show notes and just get a sense of whether or not it's for you. And you can view the curriculum, but you can actually look at the templates themselves and really sort of go through those and actually even do a lot of the exercises. So I encourage you to sort of check those out. Is a lot more powerful with the sort of the videos, the explaining context and some things. There's some of that in the open source templates, but you get a lot more richness with the course itself. But the feedback that we're getting is that the additional structure combined with the accountability, combined with the really sort of specificity of here's how I'm building brand, here's how I'm layering on my own sort of vision, and here are the practices that I'm implementing in my daily life, seem to be providing a lot of value to users. So definitely sort of check it out. But what we're going to do today is go through section by section and then day by day, a really quick overview so that you can get a sense of, is this for me or is it not? So without further ado, I'm actually going to just click in on my end to the course itself so I can actually sort of read through the different pieces. But what we have is a framing of an opening and intro, which talks a little bit about mental models for the course and how to sort of think clearer, along with some sort of guiding principles around leverage and building social capital and things like that. And then we also talk a little bit about some pillars of the course, which are journaling, and there's a specific methodology we'll go into there, along with this sort of get to do list, which is a really sort of powerful concept of how do I sort of organize my day by ROI and impact and things like that, which we'll talk about in greater depth. But that's the sort of quick framing. Immediately we get into this building your compass and finding base camp section, which is all about really sort of building your mission and vision and working towards that. We go into the next section, which is hiking the foothills, which is a little bit more about, we talk about branding, but we also sort of do a lot to sort of actually sort of have you audit your existing systems and how are you measuring impact? What are you looking at in social media? How are you spending your time? Those types of things. So it's really sort of a deep, intensive audit. What we do with the next section is starting our ascent. And this is where the rubber hits the road and we go a lot deeper with building better habits, thinking about things that we can automate, and then holding yourself accountable to the new operating system that you're building. So again, the sequences that we have some opening framing where we talk in the first 2 days about the mental models that we're going to be using, thinking about leverage, thinking about social capital, thinking about other things in terms of how we're sort of building and designing your life. And then we immediately go into this sort of building and finding your base camp, where we sort of build out your mission and vision. And we'll talk about that in greater depth. we hop into hiking the foothills, which again is that branding meets deep, intensive audits of how you're using your time and how you're sort of thinking about measuring impact. And then the last 4 days, we get really intensive on habit creation, building sort of ROI into your daily routines, and holding yourself accountable as you're sort of building this new operating system. Just to really sort of layer in day by day sort of what we're doing. And your first section is fairly straightforward. You're going to learn this 3-part journaling technique, which is something I've created sort of based on research around benefits of journaling. But the format itself is actually pretty basic. You're going to start your day with a really sort of simple brain dump of everything that you've got going on. I find most people are sort of just overwhelmed by information, right? So by just starting with this sort of brain dump of getting everything out onto paper, we're essentially starting with a little bit of a clean slate and the ability to really think clearer from there. We're then immediately jump into gratitude and things that we're grateful for. There's a ton of research behind why gratitude is important and the benefits of doing that for us. But that just puts us in a little bit more of a positive mindset. And you'll find prompts and different things in the templates that really sort of help with that. And then from there, we actually sort of dive right in our get to do list. And there's a 3-part sequence that we have, and you'll find the Notion templates, I think, sort of lay this out well. And you've got some explainer videos to help here too. But by organizing our day by task, impact, and complexity, we can start to analyze what are the things that we can do that have a high potential impact and low complexity, and really start there, right? The things that have high ROI, but are relatively easy to do, and then go through the rest of our day with the things that might have less ROI, but are still important to do. So it's just a different framework for thinking about your day and for thinking about how can I use and structure my time in a way that has deeper and more impact and more ROI. That's a little bit about the first section. There's also some guided meditations in there to help. There's workouts of the day that I sort of built into the different Notion templates that sort of help. And then there's, again, email cadences to sort of keep you on pace with the 15-day structure and just give you different prompts and pieces to structure through the course. The Building Your Compass and Finding Base Camp has 4 parts, or 3 parts, I should say. There's a value sort of overlap, which is a mix of different exercises to sort of have you thinking about your work values and your life values and how they intersect and don't. There's this amazing Finding Your Superpower exercise, which you're going to complete, where you're essentially just going to reach out to friends, colleagues, people, bosses, people that you've worked with, to sort of talk about what makes you truly unique and help you hone in on those things that really help you stand out. We've got Google templates to help you that, some Google Forms. We've got email templates for reaching out to people, and a few other pieces to just make it as simple and straightforward as possible, but a really, really powerful exercise. The feedback that you're going to get from those 2 pieces are really going to inform the next piece, which is the life and work, mission, vision section, where you're essentially going to write out a really simple 2-sentence framework for your mission and your vision. There's tons of research behind this, but by essentially just having some guiding principles for you, it really sets the precedent for the rest of the course in terms of where you're going and how are we working towards the purpose and intentional life that you want to build. So that's it. The first section, I think, has gotten great feedback. People have really been liking the new format and the way that we have it laid out. It dovetails really nice into the next section, which is personal branding, right? So now that we've thought about who you are and who do you want to be, let's start to think about how do we sort of make this show up in the world, and what's the version of you that we want to start to put into social media, into different pieces that you're doing on the daily, and how do we think about that? So you'll find, again, a Notion template that actually sort of walks you through what is my brand, what am I all about, what are my brand pillars, what are the 3 to 4 things that I talk about. Those are going to be based off the exercises that precede it. And there's also some prompts on sort of tone. And then if you really want to get detailed, which you don't have to do for this part of the course, but I wanted to include it, it goes into a lot of specificity on different platforms, and then some SMART goals and different things that you can actually sort of build in from there, which again, work with different pieces sort of throughout the course. So again, you don't need to go super deep on this part, but the branding, the pillars, those other things are really, really sort of helpful and essential for what follows. What then we go into is we're doing we've got a sort of daily energy mapping audit, which is from the New York Times bestseller, Designing Your Life. We're fortunate enough to make friends and do some trainings from the great people at Stanford. So the materials there are directly from the course itself. For that particular day, the exercise comes from the course and their website. And then we also have a social media audit, a fear setting exercise from the great Tim Ferriss, and then a section called What's Measured Gets Managed, which is essentially a data creation or a data sort of measurement section that has you look at a specific KPI along the lines of something that you want to improve in your life. And you're going to sort of measure it really sort of intensely for just 3 days. And there's a lot of benefit to doing that. So again, we've got a deep, personal branding exercise, followed by those deep, intensive energy mapping, social media audit, fear setting exercises, and then the sort of self-measurement pieces to really get a sense of, okay, I've got this personal brand that I have. I've got this mission vision. How is my current life sort of stacking up to that or not? The next section complements these pieces really well, because you're going to start to use this concept of leverage, which we cover earlier in the course, to think about what are the high ROI activities that I can start to build in, that I don't have, that can build in to have more ROI in my life. So just a quick, simple example. One thing that was really critical for me, but automating investing, and just making that something that I didn't have to think about, but it happened automatically, has just added tremendous value to my life and given me so much freedom. It's something I started probably like 13 years ago, and it's just been such a game changer for me financially. But the goal of that section is, what are the levers that you can start to build into your life to have tons of ROI? Another easy one that I think a few users have started doing is daily posting on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has got a amazing organic reach. And by posting on it daily, your views accumulate way more over time. And LinkedIn's algorithm essentially prioritizes your posts over that of other people, right? So in terms of branding, the simple act of spending 15 minutes a day posting on LinkedIn at a specified time can have tons of ROI for your career. And there's all sorts of systems to do this, but the goal of this section is to help you sort of think through what are the things that you can do to sort of put content out, to put things out publicly, or to sort of build into your daily, weekly, monthly practices, et cetera, to have outsized ROI. And again, something I think has been testing really well with our users. The next section, we do a deep dive into habit formation. Again, the templates on Notion, I think you'll really like, and they help with this section quite a bit. because we talk about the psychology of habit formation, but then we actually sort of dive into actually sort of doing it. So you're going to be looking at sort of daily, weekly, different habits and grading them, or is this healthy? Is this not? And then looking at what are the tweaks that you can make, again, using different sort of templates and methodologies from James Clear's amazing Atomic Habit books and some other places to really sort of help with that. We get into a little bit more with the automation and leverage pieces, which complements again that creating the life and work levers section well. And then we really start to put it all together into your own system. So we're going to try to systematize the different things that you want to do. We're going to start to sort of build in what are the habits and routines that I can do, and how do we actually sort of build this into the structure of your day with rewards. The piece that I think you're going to really like is this accountability partners thing. So through the course itself and through the networks of the different people that you're going to be tapping for feedback throughout the course, you're actually going to build essentially your own accountability board, so that you've got, whether it's two people or one particular buddy, to actually sort of hold your feet to the fire for the different pieces that you're committing to, so that you can have somebody to just kind of call you out whether you're hitting your goals or not, and be both sort of a supportive buddy, but somebody that at the same time is holding your feet to the fire a little bit. The big goal, or the big advice I have for anybody that's taking this course and doing it is, it's really tempting to write out all the different things that you want to do and commit to so many different things. But what I'm hoping actually sort of comes through from the feedback that I've been getting, the people that I've been working with, the people that have committed to sticking with the journaling, sticking with the meditation, and building in just one or two healthy habits, along with one or two really sort of smarter sort of long-term goals, are seeing a lot of benefit. This one particular user, and I won't say his name, has built in the sort of daily practice of LinkedIn posting, has started a side hustle, and has had a few different sort of ventures that have sort of been happening as a byproduct of doing the course. And that's, for me, I think the ideal outcome, right? Is I don't want you burning out, but I do want to sort of recalibrate what's possible for you and help you and guide you in creating a mission and vision and a sequence of habits that you can commit to long term. So that's it. That's a little bit about the course itself. There's all sorts of bonus materials that I haven't gotten into, including masterclass interviews with some really high performers, including Eric Jorgensen, who wrote this incredible book, the author of the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It's got another great book coming out. There's an amazing interview with a world-class regenerative community expert who's actually sort of taken the course himself. There's some more amazing content from a founder and CEO that I think you'll really enjoy, who helped inform one of the exercises itself. There's 19 workouts of the day, all of which I've tested. They're great. They don't require much equipment. They're meant to sort of give you some guidance and some ideas on how to sort of do it yourself. There's guided meditations I created myself. There's a ton of content on there. And again, the Notion templates, I think people have really been liking and using. That said, you are ultimately going to sort of shape the course itself and future directions and iterations of it. So please check it out. Please let me know what you think. If you have any questions about anything, Mike at the Actualized Self. That's Mike at the-actualized-self.com. Love to know what you think. Love to know what you like about the course and where we can make it better. Again, I am so psyched to share this with you. We are getting great feedback, and I think building a really cool direction with regards to habit formation, accountability, and really living and working with intentionality. So let me know what you think. And again, I am so grateful you are here, and yeah, can't wait to be on this journey with you. Thanks, and have a great week.